Story 1. Some nights, I still wake up, heart pounding, checking the shadows. It's been months, but that night on Highway 50, America's loneliest road never really let me go. I was working the graveyard shift at an old gas station in the middle of the Nevada desert. Midnight to 6 a.m. Just me and miles of nothing. I thought I was alone. Until an old Ford pickup rolled in, its engine growling low. The man who stepped out stood under the flickering pump light, smiling, staring, for 3 minutes. He didn't blink. That's when I knew I wasn't alone out there, and maybe I never had been. My name's Evan Cole. 6 months ago, I took this job because I needed cash and didn't mind the solitude. Or so I thought. The station's a relic peeling paint. A Coke machine that hasn't worked since the 90s. And coffee that tastes like motor oil. My routine was simple. Stock the chips. Mop the floor. And stare out the bulletproof glass at the empty highway. At night, Highway 50 feels like it's holding its breath. The wind kicks up sand, scratching the walls like fingernails. Sometimes I'd talk to myself just to hear something human. I got so used to the quiet, I started thinking this place was my own little purgatory. Just me in the desert. That's what I told myself. Anyway, it was around 1:37 a.m. when things got weird. The cash register screen flickered, then reset to 0. No big deal, everything here's older than me. But then the security cameras started fritzing out. Popping. Hissing. The screens flashing static like an old VHS tape. A faint hum buzzed in the air, barely audible. And that's when I felt a cold prickle crawling up my spine. Like someone was watching me from the dark corners of the store. I shook my head. Probably just the late shift messing with me. I was tired. That's all. Then I heard it. The low rumble of an engine. I looked out and saw this beat-up Ford from the 70s pulling up to pump 3. The headlights cut through the dust. And this guy got out. Tall. Wearing a long coat and a wide-brimmed hat. Like he stepped out of a Western. The pump light was harsh. Bright as a spotlight. But he had no shadow. Not a trace. My stomach dropped. I busied myself with the logbook, pretending I didn't notice, but my hands were shaking. Who doesn't cast a shadow? I kept my eyes down, praying he'd just fill up and leave. I snuck a glance at the cameras to check on him. My heart stopped. He wasn't at the pump anymore. He was inside. Standing by the soda machine, staring right at me. The machine hummed oddly, like it was breathing. Its vibrations pulsing in time with his smile. I didn't hear the door chime. Not a single sound. His grin was wider now, like he knew something I didn't. I tried to say, "Can I help you?" But my voice caught. Just a rasp. I gripped the counter, my mind racing. How'd he get in? I told myself I was imagining it. Just sleep deprivation. Right. But my gut knew better. Suddenly, the overhead lights flickered and died. Pitch black. The kind of dark that swallows you whole. I fumbled for the flashlight under the counter, my pulse hammering in my ears. Then ding. The door chime. Someone or something had just walked in. I clicked on the flashlight. Sweeping the beam across the store. Nothing. Empty aisles. Empty corners. But the air felt heavy, like it was pressing down on me. I whispered. Hello. No answer. Just the wind outside, howling louder now. Out of nowhere, the old CB radio on the wall crackled to life. A voice low, raspy, almost mocking hissed. Evan, he's already inside. My blood ran cold. How did it know my name? Before I could process it, the computer booted up on its own, the screen flashing one word in big block letters. Run. I froze. My legs like lead. Run where? The desert. The highway. Maybe it was a prank, some jerk messing with the radio, but the static buzzed like a swarm of bees, and I couldn't shake the feeling it wasn't human. Then I heard it. The sharp clack-clack of high heels. A woman walked in, wearing a floral dress straight out of a 50s sitcom. Her skin was pale, almost glowing, and her eyes, they were empty, like glass. She smiled a stiff, unnatural grin and said, "Do you sell leaded gas?" Her voice was flat, like she was reading a script. She asked again, "Do you sell leaded gas?" Same tone, same pause. I stammered. We don't carry that anymore." She didn't blink, just kept smiling. "Do you sell leaded gas?" I backed away, my skin crawling. I glanced at my watch. 2:13 a.m. I tried to calm down, focus on the woman, but she just stood there, repeating her question. 10 minutes later, I checked my watch again. Still 2:13 a.m. My chest tightened. I looked around the poster on the wall. An ad for Marlboros was different now. A wide-brimmed hat, like his, had appeared in the corner of the image. The soda machine was on the wrong side of the room. Every time I blinked, the store twisted, like it was breathing, reshaping itself to trap me. It felt less like the store was falling apart, and more like it was waking up. I rubbed my eyes. Was I losing it? Just a bad night, I told myself, but the air felt alive. Watching me, I stumbled into the break room to catch my breath. That's when I saw it, a black door in the wall, where there'd only ever been cracked tiles. No handle, no lock, just the word exit scratched into the paint. My gut screamed not to touch it, but then I heard a soft knock from the other side. Tap, tap, tap. Slow, deliberate. I pressed my ear to the door, holding my breath. The knocking stopped. Then, a whisper. "Evan, open it." The knocking grew louder, faster, until it was a pounding. Then I heard her voice, my mom's voice. "Evan, open the door. Come home." "Baby, I miss you." My heart shattered. I could almost hear her humming that old lullaby she sang when I was a kid. I wanted to throw the door open, to see her, to hug her, but I couldn't. Mom died in a car crash last year. I saw the wreck. I went to the funeral. Whatever was behind that door, it wasn't her. Tears streamed down my face as I backed away, choking out, "You're not my mom." The pounding stopped. Silence. Too much silence. I wondered if I'd made a mistake, if I'd turned away something real, but I couldn't trust my own head anymore. The store started to unravel. The walls cracked, splintering like dry wood. The gas pumps outside dissolved into glowing dust. The floor pulsed under my feet, like a heartbeat, hungry and alive. I caught my reflection in a shattered mirror by the counter. It wasn't me. It was Evan, but wrong. His smile stretched too wide. His eyes were black voids. He tilted his head, mimicking my every move. I screamed, stumbling back. The air smelled like ozone and rot. I was probably hallucinating. Right. Too many energy drinks. Too little sleep. But whatever this place was, it wasn't a gas station anymore. It was something else, something alive. I bolted for the door, bursting out into the night. But Highway 50 was gone. No road, no stars, Just an endless desert under a sky too black to be real. The sand whispered across my shoe, like fingers pulling me under, urging me to stay. My sneakers sank as I ran, lungs burning. I looked back once. The gas station was gone, but that Ford was there, parked in the middle of nothing. Its headlights flicked on, pinning me like a bug. I kept running, and just as my legs gave out, a faint gray light dawned, maybe flickered on the horizon. But the desert stretched on forever. I don't know how I got out. Maybe I didn't. These days, when I'm driving late at night, I see them, those lonely gas stations glowing on the side of the road. Sometimes, I swear I see that Ford waiting in the shadows. Its lights cutting through the dark straight to my soul. I keep driving, but I wonder, did I escape? Or am I still out there, trapped in that loop, chasing a highway that doesn't exist? If you're ever on Highway 50 and you see a station that feels wrong, keep going. Don't stop. Not for anything. Story 2. I thought working the night shift would be easy. Just me, a quiet gas station, and the hum of the fridges. Until I checked the security camera and saw someone standing in aisle 3. The problem? I was supposed to be alone. I've never told this story to anyone. Not my friends, not my family, because saying it out loud makes it real, and I'm not sure I can handle that. But I have to tell it before I forget again. This happened a few months ago. I was working at a gas station off Route 29, out in the middle of nowhere. 10 miles from town, no neighbors, just a flickering neon sign. Truckers would stop by, grab coffee, and leave. Nothing ever happened. Until that night. It was a cold spring night. I pulled my jacket tight and settled in. Checked the 4 security monitors, black and white, grainy, all clear. But the silence felt wrong, heavy, like the air was pressing down on me. Around midnight, one monitor flickered. The one for aisle 3 where the snacks are. Just static for a second, then it cleared. I figured it was a loose wire, but something in my gut told me to keep watching. A few minutes later, I saw it. A blur on the monitor like someone walking past the chips. I looked up, expecting a customer. Nothing. I called out, "Hey, anyone there?" No answer, just the buzz of the lights. Around 2:07 a.m., I heard something. A faint scrape, like metal on tile. I walked toward aisle 3 and found a Coca-Cola can lying on the floor, slowly spinning. I hadn't touched that row all night. I picked up the can, put it back, tried to shrug it off. But when I got to the counter, the monitor for aisle 3 wasn't empty. Someone was standing there, tall, still, facing the camera. I looked out. Nobody. My heart was racing. I ran to the front door, locked. No broken windows, no open vents. There was no way anyone got in. But the monitor still showed them, standing there like they knew I was watching. I grabbed a flashlight and went to aisle 3. Halfway down, I saw him. A man in an old jacket, standing at the end of the aisle. Just a glimpse before he was gone, like he melted into the shadows. I rushed back to the counter. The monitors were glitching, static, lines, noise. Then for a split second, I saw a face, too close to the camera. No details, just eyes, staring right at me. Then I heard a crash from the stockroom, heavy, like boxes falling. I didn't want to go, but something made me move, like I had to know. The stockroom was chaos, boxes everywhere. But in the corner there was a red light, blinking, slow, like a heartbeat. I couldn't look away. It felt alive. I backed out, heart pounding. I felt it, a cold presence right behind me. I glanced at the monitor. The figure was standing behind me. I spun around. Nothing. As I stood there, a memory hit me. Something vague, like a dream. I'd been in that stockroom before, and something bad happened, but I couldn't pin it down. I couldn't take it anymore. I rewound the tape to the start of my shift, and there it was. The figure, in the background, every single night I'd worked. Always in aisle 3, always watching. I paused the frame, zoomed in. The figure's jacket. It was mine. Same cut, same tear on the sleeve. My hands started shaking. How was that possible? The lights above me flickered. The monitors went black. And in the darkness, I heard it. A whisper. Not words, just my name. Over and over. There's a small mirror by the coffee machine. I glanced at it just to ground myself, but I wasn't there. The mirror showed him, the man from the tape, standing alone, staring back, and then it all came back. That night, months ago, the stockroom, a scream. My scream, the red light pulling me in, the cold, the blood on the floor. I watched the footage again, saw myself being dragged into the dark, into that blinking red light. I didn't make it out. I never left, but I'm still here. Every night, same shift, same silence. Sometimes I think someone will see me on the monitors, see me staring back, but no one ever does. If you work a night shift, check the corners, check the cameras, and if you see someone who looks like you, don't go into the back room, ever. So, what do you think? Was I already gone? Or was something else wearing my face? Tell me in the comments and stay tuned for Nightmare Tales' next story, about a little girl who warned me not to look under the bed, and what I found when I did. You won't sleep after that one. Story 3. The desert wind howled outside, scratching at the gas station's windows like it wanted in. Pump 3. It never worked. Not broken. Just dead. No power. No hum. No nothing, like it was cut off from reality itself. My coworkers called it cursed, chuckling over burnt coffee during shift changes. Just a dumb joke. Until last Friday. My night shift. Something pulled up to pump 3. Not a car. Not really. And whatever stepped out, it wasn't here for gas. 2 months ago, I started the night shift at Lone Pine Gas, a crumbling station off Route 395, nestled against the Sierra Nevada's jagged peaks. It's 2 hours from anything resembling a city, where the desert stretches out like God forgot to finish it. Nothing happens here. Locals drift in, buy cigarettes, wave, and vanish into the night. They don't talk much, but when they do, it's about pump 3. Never worked. My manager Greg muttered on my first day, scratching his beard. It's not broken, Tyler. Just let it be. His eyes lingered on the pump. Rusted and silent under the flickering neon. Night shifts are predictable. Same faces. Same routines. There's Jerry, the trucker who buys beef jerky and a lotto ticket every Thursday. Sometimes coyotes slink across the lot. eyes glinting in the dark. That Friday, though, the rhythm broke. No regulars, no Jerry, just silence, thick and heavy. Then, headlights sliced through the dust a black 70s Oldsmobile, its chrome dull, its lights flickering like they were drowning. It rolled to a stop. Not at pump 1 or 2, at pump 3. The overhead light at pump 3 buzzed to life. That light's been dead for years. Its bulb a husk of cracked glass. My stomach twisted. The register beeped. Its screen flashing. Pump 3. Activated. Impossible. I leaned closer. Heart hammering. The Oldsmobile sat there. Empty. No driver. No passenger. Then the driver's door creaked open. Slow and deliberate. Like it was inviting me to look. Nobody stepped out. Not yet. He appeared. Not from the car, but beside it, like the shadows stitched him together. Tall, skin gray as ash, wearing a sheriff's uniform straight out of a 50s Western. His face, God. His face had no eyes. Just dark hollows, deep as graves. His boots didn't crunch on the gravel. He turned toward the station, toward me behind the counter, and smiled. Not a human smile, something that knew my name. I slammed the emergency shutoff switch. Nothing happened. The station hummed, alive with a low, electric growl. The security monitors flickered, then went black except the one showing pump 3. That screen showed something else. Grainy footage of me, tied to a chair in this very station, screaming. Blood streaked my face. The me on screen looked right at the camera, right at me, and mouthed, "Run." The old radio behind the counter, broken for years, crackled on. Static hissed. Then a voice. My voice. "You shouldn't have looked." Tyler. My knees buckled. Outside, the man in the sheriff's uniform moved to the Oldsmobile's trunk. It popped open. Inside was a Lone Pine Gas uniform, my name embroidered on the chest. It was soaked in blood, still warm, steaming in the cold desert air. I didn't sleep that weekend. On Saturday, I drove to the Lone Pine Library, a dusty building with records older than my parents. I found him, Sheriff Raymond Weller, vanished in 1956. No body, no trace. A gas station clerk disappeared the same night. A kid named Tommy Vance, pump 3, installed that year. No record of it ever working. Not a single gallon pumped. Sunday night. I took another shift, my hands shaking as I clocked in. Same time, same desert silence. Then, headlights. On the security feed, a car pulled into the lot. My car. I saw myself step out, wearing my uniform, face pale, eyes wide with fear. But I was already inside the station. The me outside looked at the me behind the counter and bolted back to the car, peeling out into the night. A note appeared on the counter, scrawled in my handwriting. "You clocked in. You don't clock out." The register word, spitting out a receipt. I grabbed it. Date, November 13, 1956. Item, 1 soul. Prepaid. The air grew heavy, like the station itself was breathing. Outside, pump 3's nozzle twitched, like it was alive. Monday. I tried to quit. I called Greg, my voice cracking. "I'm done. Man, I can't do this." He paused. Too long. "Tyler, you already quit. A month ago, you never came back." He sent me a photo of the logbook. My name was scratched out, replaced with Raymond. My apartment lease, terminated. My bank account, empty. It was like I'd never existed. The backroom freezer never opened. The handle was rusted shut, sealed for years. That night, it swung wide, revealing not shelves of soda, but a staircase carved into raw earth, descending into darkness. I grabbed a flashlight. At the bottom were pump valves, a dozen of them, rusted and leaking. Each had a nameplate. One read, Tyler Monroe. I lost it. I grabbed a crowbar, smashed pump 3 until it sparked. I cut the station's power, plunging everything into darkness. The man in the Oldsmobile screamed not out loud, but in my skull, a sound like tearing metal. Reality cracked. For 1 second, I saw them. Every clerk who'd worked here, every soul Pump 3 had taken. All of them wore my face. Pump 3 split open, metal peeling like skin. No gasoline poured out, only blood, thick and black, pooling on the gravel. The Oldsmobile dissolved into the night. Silence returned. Then, headlights. A new car pulled in. A kid no older than 20 stepping out. He leaned into the station window. Hey, is Pump 3 working? I'm still here. I don't sleep. I don't eat. But I remember every night. I stand behind the counter, greeting customers with a smile they don't question. They don't see the hollow in my chest, the scream trapped behind my teeth. They don't know Pump 3 is waiting, always waiting, for the next one to clock in. One day, you'll be driving through the desert, tired, your gaslight blinking. You'll see lone pine gas glowing like a lighthouse in the dark. You'll pull up to Pump 3, because it's the only one open, and I'll be there, behind the counter, smiling, waiting for you to clock in.